Dave Montoya, contributor, longtime person on this show. In fact, wasn't he like a regular for a while?
Yep.
I'm not losing my mind about that, right?
I don't know.
So you don't know?
I think it was the
Gabriel.
other Gabe, though, to be honest with you. But maybe it was that one. I don't know.
I know we had Gabriel Montoya on a few times, and we've had Steve Kinn on. We've had Dougie on. We are all on Twitter. Twitter apparently is where the day-to-day conversations of what goes on Twitter occur.
I hate Twitter. I don't have that one, Lee. Took it off.
You're on it.
I'm still on it? Well, I haven't been on it in a while then.
On it. So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And you can basically turn your Twitter feed into a news feed. That's what I do. And that's how I get basically all of my information. I know it sounds boring, but Twitter and Facebook for me are just constant news feeds. And all you got to do is follow like one person like Steve or Gabe Montoya or somebody
news, yeah.
or me. And then you'll get your boxing news. And then it'll give you a bunch of recommendations. And I'll give you some tips. Follow like Top Rank. Follow Bernie Barmazal. Okay. Follow the actual guys who do the promoter. Follow our friend. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Your former boss, Mr. Promoter. Help me, Andrew. Mario. He doesn't listen to the show. Fuck him. Like, here's the funny part.
You're so crazy.
They all follow me. They're all aware of the show. They've been on the show. They don't listen to the show. Or at least they're lying about listening to the show. It's all good. Why is that? Well, for those of you that are new to the show, I was a bit of an asshole when I was younger. All of 10 years ago when I started this show. I thought Louder and Dumber was the way to go. I am wrong. Louder and Dumber means you don't get credentials and people want to beat you up a lot. So, we're talking boxing.
I know who's getting beat up.
So, we're starting right off the top with what I think is the hilarity, and I'm going to say this, the hilarity of this weekend. And I don't even know how to begin. For those of you living under a rock, the undisputed, complete unification, right? This is going to do it. This is a full unification bout. Golovkin versus Brooks. This is for every single title in the division. If you don't believe me, it's WBC, WBA, IBF, IBO, WBO. That covers the spectrum there. Okay, that's 5 titles to one man on Saturday night in London, right? Gennady Golovkin will fight Kell Brooks. They're doing press releases. They're doing everything. Of course, Golden Boy and Oscar and Julio Cesar Chavez. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, like, do you want the social media activity on this? All week, Oscar has been bad-mouthing Triple G kind of backhandedly about how Canelo would dissect him. And yesterday, and this is part of a Steve Kim tweet that I was on, he found a tweet that Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., I didn't know he knew how to tweet, wrote that Canelo won't fight Triple G till he's an old man, which
is true.
I said was obvious because that's the Golden Boy formula. That is that's the champion formula, right? Don't take the fight until you're sure you can win it, kind of thing.
Right.
And Triple G takes a lot of it. For those of you who are not Triple G watchers, let me explain. You sure as hell want to watch his fights. The dude takes abuse. He does fight like a Mexican. We'll start off with Andrew's first story. Golovkin-Brook Fight Week is here. On Tuesday at West Piazza Convention Garden, London, the fighters are going to be hosting public workouts. They'll be streaming live, by the way. Get on Twitter or Facebook and follow Triple G or Kell Brooks. They're both very easy to follow. And you will see and it's main events. They're doing the promotion on it, so it's not hard to get a hold of this fight. Or type in HBO Boxing to get all the updates. The fighters will perform workouts. The current odds, as it stands right now, Golovkin is currently basically a 3-1 favorite. If you want to back Brooks, you're going to get plus 525. So about a 2-to-1 return, better than 525. So bet 100 to win 520. He's a 5-to-1 underdog on the bet. He's 7.5. You got to bet 100 to win what? 25? Is that what it is? That's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
Or you got to bet 750 to win 100.
100, right? So yeah, you win $25 on $100.
Insane.
You bet 100 on Brooks, you'll win 525. So it's about a 5-to-1 spread, depending on how you look at it. If you're wondering why they're not exactly the same, that's because they're bookies and they always win. Okay? And everybody is putting their money on Golovkin. Every source online is putting their money on Golovkin. The only one who believes that Kell Brooks can win is Kell Brooks. And don't get me wrong, he looks the part. I posted a photo, again, Twitter, @LeeHonish. Kell Brooks looks right. I mean, he looks the part, right? But he's never been hit like this, has he?
No, and that's a good place to start is the way he looks. A lot of people are going off the pictures that are being posted on social media right now, trying to turn this into maybe Kell Brook has a shot because of his muscle mass. That's not the case in boxing. Actually, muscle mass takes away from a boxer. It takes away speed, and it also can get him tired faster as the fight goes on. So I don't know if him putting on, actually gaining more weight than what Triple G is right now, is helping Kell Brook. And another thing about the way he looks is, Lee, for the average fan on Saturday night that's just going to be flipping through channels and see that HBO has a live fight on, when they turn this fight on, they're going to see two undefeated fighters. They're going to see two undefeated champions. That right there sells this fight. 80,000 people are probably going to be in that arena. That right there sells this fight to the average fan. So this is a big fight for HBO. This is a big fight both for Triple G and Kell Brook. They're going to get a lot of exposure on Saturday night. What I'm hoping Kell Brook does not do is after the weigh-ins, go put on 20 extra more pounds. Go put on 15 extra more pounds. Because, see, right now he looks good. But you come in and you start looking like there's a tire around you, this fight obviously starts losing credibility real fast. So the way he looks in the weigh-ins, I'm hoping he brings that to the ring. I'm hoping he stays dedicated to this fight, doesn't try to gain too much weight, and come in sharp. Come in a few pounds less than Triple G and try to be faster than him. You're not going to outslug this, man. We all know how you beat a Mexican. You box. Chavez, even though he was undefeated all those years, had his worst times with boxers. So you don't try to outthrow these guys who go to the head, the body, throw a million hooks, are always in your face. You don't meet fire with fire. Not on this night. Stay light. Try to box them. Try to be a sharpshooter. I don't think it's going to work, but I hope Kell Brook gets out of this fight without losing too much credibility as a champion in the welterweight division. If he gets annihilated like in 2 rounds, trust me, guys, his next fight at the welterweights is not going to be that big. It won't. We will all know that he was way over his head, but who cares? He got annihilated in 2 rounds in the first biggest fight of his career. That'll be Kell Brook's fault. I hope he made good money for it, but I just want him to get out of the fight with little bit of dignity. Put in a good fight. I think he's way in over his head. I don't know why he took this fight. Maybe he'll prove me wrong Saturday night, but I do not expect a lot from him. I'm just hoping he puts up a good enough fight so when he goes back, we still have something to sell at the 147 division.
Completely agree. Brooks is 5 pounds heavier than Triple G at WBC 7-day weigh-in, which doesn't mean jack crap, Kell Brooks hit the scale 5 pounds heavier than Gennady Golovkin in their final WBC check-in weight ahead of their monster clash for all the titles in London this Saturday night on HBO and Sky Sports. Brooks was weighed at the famous Wickenbank Gym in Sheffield by British Boxing Board. He weighed 167.8. Golovkin tipped the scales at 162.9. He trained up in Big Bear, of course, as always, being a local Santa Monica guy here in Southern California. I suspect that on the night of the fight, Brooks will probably be around 175. probably reinflate back to 175.
And
I would guess.
And I think he's going to look totally out of shape if he comes in that heavy. I don't expect him to look the same as what he's showing on the internet.
No, I think he's cut right now. You get the last of, and for those who don't believe this, both of these guys, no matter what you believe about VADA and whatever test boards, these guys are all using supplements, some banned, some not. But, yeah, I mean, they cut, they drop water, they, shoot photos. They have people take photos of them that are perfectly aligned. I think his plan is to come in and be bigger and be heavier and try to weigh down Brooks. That's my belief.
I just think it's the same Triple G in every fight.
Well, at least in Triple G's case, I think Brooks' game plan is he's a better boxer. He's going to be a bigger guy and a better boxer, and I think he's going to try to use his weight and his size to manhandle Triple G. And it's been done. I've seen the show. And to quote Mike Tyson, who has a new t-shirt, go to Facebook and get Mike Tyson's new t-shirt. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what's going to happen here. I don't think Kell Brook has been hit like this. I just don't.
And with Golovkin, it's hit way more than just one time. I mean, Golovkin is constantly in the face. That's why everyone loves him. He's a very exciting fighter. He has a bit of a boxing skill behind it. It's not superior to most, but he's got a little bit of a skill behind just coming face first at you. But when he gets into that zone, when he gets into the mode, I mean, what does he have? Like 18, 19 knockouts in a row? And they just released, or the video's always been out there, but someone reposted the other day the amateur fight of Golovkin and Lucien Boutte. Guess what, Lee? He knocked Boutte out with headgear on.
Yeah.
One punch. It's his power is like there's not too many that have the power of Triple G. I expect him to show it Saturday night against the very small, might be buff, but very small Kell Brook. Believe me, people, if Kell Brook was a true middleweight, he wouldn't be fighting at 147. Sorry.
I completely agree. At the end of the show, we'll give you all the bets. I'll give you the update from Odds Shark and let you guys decide. We'll give you our final picks at the end of this show. So that'll do it for that story. Let's move on. Cuadras is 2.3 pounds heavier than Chocolate Bar Gonzalez for their fight at the Forum on Saturday. First of all, they're doing this like in the afternoon, so it doesn't interfere, right? So they're gonna
and they're showing both.
This
yes, I believe they're showing this one live,
and they're showing it at Dodger Stadium. Oh, I'll tell you that little twist next too. Go ahead.
Well, I believe they're showing it live and then showing it again as the replay with Triple G later that night.
So WBC flyweight world champion Roman Gonzalez, chocolate. Don't ask me to say chocolate and chocolatito. It's
chocolate.
Sounds
yeah,
bad.
It's chocolate.
Yeah, it's chocolate. 45-0 with 38 KOs, an undefeated WBC super flyweight world champion. Takes on Carlos Cuadras, who's 35-0. Somebody's will go. Both weighed in within the WBC required 7-day limit ahead of their battle on September 10th, this Saturday, at the fabulous Forum, former home of the LA Lakers when they were fabulous. From this training camp in Big Bear. So Roman trained up there at the same time as Triple G. I wonder if they sparred it all together. Nobody ever talks about what happens up in Big Bear.
They just released a bunch of pictures of themselves hugging each other.
Yeah, quite a bit. And I'm not even sure Oscar still owns that camp or doesn't own the camp up there.
No, he probably does. Because a lot of his fighters, Golden Boy goes to Big Bear all the time, too. Even Saul's up there.
Chocolate tipped the scale at 117.9, Cuadras at 120. And that's basically it. They're going for the super flyweight title. This is the consensus pound for pound man to be.
This is what he has to do.
Do I care about this fight?
Yes,
I mean,
no, Lee, we wanted
Twitter
this. Lee, when we talked about Chocolito months ago, we talked about him needing opponents. Cuadras was one of them. He's undefeated and he's Mexican, bro. This is.
You actually roll your R like a Mexican?
Yeah, I tried. Yes, I tried.
It's strong.
Yes.
He's strong.
So this is the fight we wanted. I'm very happy.